Was Lord Ram real? The shocking truth that blurs myth and history. Ramayan secrets revealed. There are stories that entertain, and then there are stories that feel like an inherited memory. Somewhere between this faith and history stands Lord Ram. Not just a deity to be worshipped, but as a presence deeply embedded in cultural consciousness. What makes Ram so unique is that he is rarely treated as a distant mythical figure. Instead, he is remembered almost like an ancestor whose life continues to influence generations. This strange closeness begins with how vividly his life is described in the Ramayana. Unlike abstract myths, Ram's story is tied to specific places like Ayodhya and detailed celestial events marking his birth, leading many to believe that his life was not merely imagined but recorded. If myths are usually timeless and floating, then why does Ram's life seem so grounded in time and space? Could it be that what we call mythology is actually a fragmented memory of history? This sense of realism deepens when we examine Ram not as a god but as a son. His decision to accept 14 years of exile to honor his father's promise is not an act of supernatural power but of human choice, one that demands immense sacrifice. He gives up his kingdom, comfort, and rightful future without any protest. Here lies a powerful question. Would any ordinary person make such a decision today? It is precisely this human struggle between duty and desire that Ram which makes him feel relatable, almost like someone from our own lineage whose values we are expected to uphold. His relationships further strengthen this perception. His bond with his brothers, Lakshman's unwavering loyalty, and Bharat's refusal to claim the throne reflects emotional truths rather than divine fantasy. These are not exaggerated miracles but deeply human connections, making one wonder whether such ideals once existed in reality or are simply ideals we have lost over time. Ram's role as a husband adds even more complexity to his character. His determination to rescue Sita from Lanka shows devotion and love. Yet, his later actions, questioning her purity and ultimately sending her away due to societal pressure, reveal inner conflict and imperfection. These are not the actions of an untouchable, flawless God, but of a ruler torn between personal emotions and public duty. This contradiction makes him more human than the divine, forcing us to confront uncomfortable questions about morality, responsibility, and societal expectations. Similarly, his reign as king, often described as the Ram Rajya, continues to symbolize ideal governance even in modern discourse. The idea that an ancient figure still defines political, and ethical ideals today suggest that Ram represents something achievable rather than imaginary. Even during his exile, Ram's character does not rely on divine intervention but on resilience. He adapts to the forest life with dignity, respects sages, and protects those around him without any complaint. His interactions with people across the societal boundaries, such as accepting food from Shabari, forming alliances with the forest dwellers, and living in harmony with nature, reflect a vision of equality and inclusiveness far ahead of its time. This raises a compelling thought. Is this merely mythology, or does it preserve a forgotten social philosophy? His conduct during war further strengthens this perception. Ram's respect for Ravan, whom he acknowledges as a learned scholar, and his acceptance of Bibhishan, along with his recognition of Kumbhakarna as a noble warrior, shows moral depth rarely seen even in modern conflicts. His war is not driven by conquest or ambition but by a singular purpose: to bring his wife back. After the victory, he does not expand his empire but hands Lanka over to Bibhishan, reinforcing that his mission was rooted in justice rather than power. Yet, what truly makes Ram feel like an ancestor rather than a distant god are his flaws. He experiences doubt, makes difficult and sometimes even controversial decisions, and faces emotional struggles that continue to be debated. These imperfections make his story feel authentic, as perfection is often distant but struggle is familiar. It is easier to worship a flawless God, but it is even far more challenging to relate to one. Ram, however, invites both devotion and introspection. Adding to this mystery are the physical and the geographical traces associated with his story, such as the debated existence of Ram Setu and the alignment of various locations with descriptions in the Ramayana. While interpretations may differ, these persistent connections blurred the boundary between mythology and history, leaving behind a sense that something real once existed. Perhaps the greatest mystery is not whether Ram existed, but why his story continues to feel like a lived reality rather than a distant tale. Why do his values still shape human behavior, relationships, and ideals of governance? Why does his life provoke not just admiration but also questioning? Maybe the answer lies in the possibility that Ram is not just a figure of the past but a standard against which human conduct is to be measured. This leads to some unsettling yet powerful questions. If Ram were alive today, would we recognize him or dismiss him as impractical? Are his values still relevant, or have we moved too far away from them? And most importantly, if Ram was truly human, then what prevents us from striving to live by his same principles? In the end, Ram is not just worshipped. He is remembered, debated, and followed, and perhaps that is why he feels less like a myth and more like our ancestor whose legacy continues to challenge and guide us even today. Thank you for listening to us. I hope this article seemed meaningful to you. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel for more such notable videos.